Well, it is time to figure out what we're going to watch this weekend. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So much stuff. Even with the summer, there's new things streaming, there's old things streaming.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people haven't been able to have time to watch. So for,
I was just saying that. I was like, I don't know how people watch so much television. I don't have the time.
Right. Take the summer, enjoy, watch things you haven't watched. Just avoid spoilers, you know, because they're all over the internet. But the first one I want to talk about is a quirky new series called High Desert. It's on Apple TV+.
Okay.
It's really insane. It stars Patricia Arquette. She was like a former drug addict. She wants to kind of change her life. So she decides that she's going to be a private detective. Like, okay, why not? Let's be a private eye. But on her way, she meets so many quirky characters. Like her ex-husband is played by Matt Dillon. Like, I mean, crazy.
Great character.
Brad Garrett's in it. I mean, it's just, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just hilarious. It's also directed by Jay Roach, who gave us the Austin Power film. So you know, yes,
it's going to be funny.
Right? And he did all 8 episodes, because a lot of time in these series, you get different directors who do different episodes. Jay did the whole thing.
Amazing.
So I had the opportunity to talk to Rupert Friend, who is one of my absolute favorite actors. You always see him in these dramas, like in Homeland, you know, but he gets to be really ridiculous. He plays this crazy guru. So let's have a listen to my little clip from my interview with Rupert Friend.
Okay.
Before we start, I just have to make sure that your nipple is okay.
Yes, thank you. It is secure and in the place it was when I woke up this morning, thank God.
Good to know. Good to know. No nipples were really hurt in the process of making this show.
That's correct.
But I gotta ask you, I mean, it's, like I said, so hilarious. And Rupert, I want to start with you because we are so used to seeing you in the dramatic, you know, the serious, the heavy duty. I can't imagine that when you got the script, you were like, hallelujah.
I was like that because, I mean, who wants to do the heavy lifting all the time? You know, there's only so many times you can be kind of killed on screen before you crave something different. I just get tortured in this one.
Okay, tell me about the nipple.
Yeah, okay, the nipple. So no spoilers here, but pretty much early in the series, like this guy, as he says, he gets tortured all the time.
Well, you saw him on fire there.
So they kind of take a little knife to the nipple there, and I'm like, oh, it was cringing, right? So I had to go and start with that. And with him sitting in that interview is Rucha Opia. She's in it as well. She's kind of a mysterious character and plays Patricia Arquette's bestie. It's quite fun. So Apple TV Plus, it's streaming now. Check it out.
Okay, and the other one that you can watch on Apple TV is Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. I mean, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen any Ted Lasso, please check it out. All 3 seasons are now streaming, of course, on Apple TV Plus. The big finale was this past Wednesday. I'm not giving away anything, but it was, for me, a very satisfying ending. I was very, very happy. It is not coming back. I think Jason Sudeikis has said. I mean, Hannah Waddington said she would like to revive it. So
there might be spin-offs.
Exactly. And there's some good things that they could do. But one of my favorite actors on the series is Phil Dunster. He plays Jamie Tart. There he is. Speaking with with Brett Goldstein.
I do like Brett Goldstein.
I love those two.
Yeah, the dynamic.
And the dynamic and the evolution of their friendship over the 3 seasons. So I asked Phil to talk about that and how it has evolved working with Brett Goldstein. So let's have a listen.
I mean, he's such a joy to work with anyway, just as a person. But to have had that sort of that back and forth with Jamie and Roy throughout, the fun thing is, I think the fun thing that we have is those moments where there's sort of fork in the road, where previously Jamie and Roy have got into this place, and normally they would go opposite ways. They would they'd fight, or they would, you know, one would say something to the other, and then it would lead into fight. And oddly, it's been actually Jamie since kind of season 1 has been the one who has been going to Roy, which I think probably up until that point in his life, he probably really hadn't done with anybody else. And so he was really trying to meet him halfway. And I think that now we're starting to see sort of more often than not, maybe, but we get there reaching that fork in the road, and they decide to go the same way together. But the fun thing is they don't always, and, you know, it's the sort of will they, won't they, but, you know, will they, won't they punch each other in the face.
I love them.
Yeah, I love them too. So check it out. You know, Ted Lasso, like I said, also Apple TV Plus. And if you haven't watched any of it, watch them all. They're all so great.
They're so great.
Yeah.
Okay, podcasts.
Yeah, you know, I do a lot of walking every day, and I like to listen to podcasts, and especially celebrity podcasts. And one that just caught my ear was one with Eric McCormick, of course, who we all know
he's
from
so
Will and
good.
Grace. We love Eric McCormick, great Canadian. And his bestie, Stephen Weber, who people will remember from Wings. Remember that show?
Yes.
But also he's on like Chicago Med and stuff, and he's a song and dance man. I'm learning a lot about Stephen Weber from this.
Good.
They are hilarious, and they've got this great podcast called Eating Out with Eric and Steve. They bring in their best friends, their buddies from TV Land.
No way.
Mean, they did one with Tony Shalhoub, who of course was on Wings, and they just talk about stuff that I thought, this is fantastic. And it's, you know, each episode is maybe an hour or maybe less. I get through my walk and I'm like, it's over? Like, honestly.
Yeah.
So I can highly, highly recommend Eating Out with Eric and Steve. There's some great, great celebrity interviews on that.
And it's relatable.
Absolutely. And it's so much fun. And
sometimes I find that when you get into these celebrity podcasts, you're like, okay, you guys are talking about stuff that doesn't relate to me at all.
No. And especially good for people who like these old TV series because they bring back, like, they talk to Jason Alexander, they talk to, like, it's
that's true.
really, really great. So
all right.
I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.